we've seen a lot of news articles, a lot of economists actually saying that it's actually going to affect us as an economy. It's going to do this, it's going to do that. Quite a number of things. And some people even say that we won't feel it now, we'll feel it later. It's going to affect prices and won't affect shortage. A lot of things going on in there. This morning, we tried to break all of them down right here on the Business Breakfast on Z. The big question is whether this rising global oil prices threatening our recent progress in stabilizing our inflation and also the economy, and what exactly this means for the CD, for businesses, and the broader economic outlook. And my guest is John Kyei. John Kyei is a financial analyst, and he understands these things better than anybody I know, and he's the best person to talk to us this morning. John, good morning.
Good morning, Mr.
How are you doing, my brother?
Yes, I'm fine. How are you too?
I'm well too, by God's grace. It's always a great blessing to sit with you, and I always say that before our conversation, that whenever you join me here, it's a good conversation because you have a grasp of the things that we talk about, and I'm really grateful that you came today.
Thank you, and good morning to our listeners.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into the conversation. Well, first of all, maybe let's begin from the global picture.
Okay.
What exactly is driving the recent rise in global oil prices?
Okay, so definitely it's about the Middle East tensions. We know in terms of global supply of oil, most of them come from Middle East, like Saudi Arabia, UAE, Iran, Iraq. All these countries are serious producers of oil. So once there's tension, there are a whole lot of problems with supply. And I think recently some Israel is even attacking their oil facilities, and they're also responding, attacking other Middle East countries, especially even their oil facilities. So once those things happen, it causes supply shock.
So Israel is attacking Iran.
Yes.
And Iran is attacking
the other Middle Eastern countries.
Why?
The reason is that U.S. has allies with most of these countries, and most of them U.S. has serious investment in these countries, especially when it comes to their oil production. So once you are attacking them, they will attack back by attacking your investment in some of these countries. They can't reach U.S. or if they do, that would be catastrophic. So they have to target the neighboring countries that U.S. has serious investment, and that is why Saudi Arabia, UAE, Kuwait are all being affected by the current war.
Okay. But catastrophic if they attack U.S. on whose part? It's going to affect U.S. negatively?
Once you attack Iran? U.S., this whole concept of NATO. So once you attack one member, everybody is involved. So it's like all the countries are going to respond, and that can really affect you so much. So that's why they would rather look at their neighbors where U.S. has serious investment. And if you look at even the global world, Russia is the leading producer of oil, followed by Iran, and then followed by Venezuela. So if and Russia, because of the Ukraine war, we know the supply issues. So if Iran too is being affected by this war, Venezuela, we know what happened with Trump taking over the president, a whole lot of things. So clearly, and there's also a particular transport route that about 20% of oil supply passes through. So then that place is controlled by Iran. So once you're attacking them, they also want to cause massive pain to the world economy, because they know when that happens, you get a lot of blame, and then that will soften you a bit. So basically that is what is happening. So they are also blocking where about 20% of oil supply passes through. So the effect, maybe those oil production doesn't even come to Ghana, but the effect is that, countries have strategic alliance. So once maybe another country, maybe my ally is struggling, I may redirect my oil sales to those countries, and that will have serious implication for the whole world economy. So basically that is what is happening.
Has this happened before?
Yes. The 12-day war. I think in January, December, January, it started where U.S. even went to bomb their nuclear facilities, but they couldn't get the objective. They wanted to achieve, and that's why it's happening now. But this one is at a large scale because killing the supreme leader of Iran, and now attacking all the leaders, destroying this is higher than what happened. The last 12 days, the war that occurred in January.
So is that to say that historically, oil prices are very sensitive to geopolitical tensions, specifically in the Middle East?
Yes. So I think, there have a lot of history to suggest that it even got to a point where oil price got to $120 per barrel due to these, tensions. Okay. So you see, Middle East is the largest producer of oil. So once there's tension, clearly it's going to disrupt their supply, route. And that is really going to affect the whole, fuel supply in the world. Do you get it? And when that happens, clearly, producers are anticipating maybe longer term supply disruptions. And that will, some of them will hoard to take advantage of the increasing pricing we are seeing. Right. And all those things can feed into serious, fuel price hike if it is not controlled. And
right, and I was coming to that. So are we looking at something temporary, maybe a temporary spike?
So I think in recent days, I've seen President Trump, calming down the market a bit.
Yeah, yesterday.
So yesterday we even saw a serious fall. A supply about 20%. And I'm even predicting that they claim to achieve their objectives,
right?
Especially whatever they wanted to take the leader, they have taken out. Now what they are looking for is to get a leader they like, and I think the Iran people are also supporting that. So there are a lot of, and I think even the president of Iran came to apologize to his neighbors about striking them. So it looks like the tone of the war is going down. Trump's biggest achievement is the economy, because he always want to flaunt, how well he is doing with the economy. So if anything he is doing will affects, the world economy and even affects U.S. economy, clearly he will back down. So I'm not really seeing this thing as a very long-term issue. I'm sure there will be compromise on the way and the war will end. And so personally, I don't think the price will move on like the way it happened. And yesterday it got to $110. But when he made certain comments and they also realized that the Iran too are also softening their stance, we are seeing the oil price dropping by about 20%.
Some people say it's a strategy by Trump.
Yes.
Do you agree with that?
When you look at the world economy, sometimes people want to forward things. So, for example, because personally, I saw him trying to drive the oil price down to about even 40. That has gone up again. So some of these things are strategic issues, right? Sometimes some leaders try to cause disruption, and when people are worried, they try to bring a solution to pretend they caused the problem, but they want to also be healed. And I think that's the strategy of Trump to cause chaos a bit and come and calm everything down. And normally when things calm down, the market shoots up in a very grand style, and he loves those kind of situation. So personally,
powerful, yes.
Oh, yes. US.
But explain further for me. We'll look at the economic implications shortly. But how can one man's comment, and I don't know what he did, he didn't do anything, I don't know, but he just came to say that the war is quote and unquote complete.
Yes.
And because of that,
the price is falling.
Yes. How does that work?
Yeah. So you see, US is the largest economy in the world. And because of the dollarization of the world economy, everything coming from them has serious implication. And especially they have a leader who is not the regular leader we know, who is more of the diplomatic type. And people understand that. And when he says everything is complete, people believes it. Okay. So you see, initial conversation was making it look like he's going to hit them hard. So people were scared that if he's going to hit them hard, there's a oil facility he was going to hit, and then the Iran people also respond by hitting oil facilities in the neighboring countries. So this was a serious, a challenge. And that's why we saw oil price rising from about $71 per barrel to $110 per barrel. But once he came out to say, I've achieved my objective, I'm willing to compromise. Clearly, the market knows that for him, he supports, oil price moving down. So once he ends the war, now he has taken over Venezuela. Venezuela is the country with the third country with the largest reserves. And the reserves they have is even close to Russia. And you see, he has taken over, so they can now produce more. He has also promised that even the U.S. as a country is going to produce more. So once we are seeing, this war is not really going to be a long-term war, he wants to end it, clearly the market will respond by people taking profit out of the investment that they did, and I mean all the pressures that was driving the oil price up will clearly come down. So you can't joke with U.S. president. Every word he says carry weight. You get, and they know that the Trump is an action man. You know what he says, he will do it. Yesterday, he even warned Iran that if they block the Straits of Hormuz, where about 20%, he will strike them hard. He said it on his social media pages, and they know he can do it. Do you get? So he is a bit a bully. So you have to find a way to deal with him. But I think the war will not really, and the good thing is that most often the crude oil price has 2 weeks effect on the export price. So it's not like once, they increase crude oil price, then immediately it will have effect.
Yeah, because when they hit
110, you are still saying we are buying, even though it's going up a little. Even that up little, like that small movement is because the BDCs, the bulk distributors, want to take advantage of the situation, so they want to exactly. Do you get it? But you see, the issue is that 2 weeks effect. If in the 2 weeks period, something similar like what is happening happens and price comes down, we will not see the impact. So that 110 movement, we will not see it. So maybe by next 2 weeks, maybe the price is likely to come down to, let's say, even hover around 80. Then we'll see a marginal increase in the export price than what maybe economists are saying, especially when they thought this is going to be a long-term war.
Okay, let's bring it back to let's come down to Ghana. Now, we produce crude oil locally. By the grace of God, Tema Oil Refinery is back on its feet.
Yes.
And I've seen that. I think they produce 25,000 streams. So they have a day.
Yes.
Stream day, something, a barrel or something. But now they want to do like 48,000.
Which is very significant.
Yes. Why do we still feel the impact of global shocks like that when they happen? Why is that the case?
So you see, the issue is that when it comes to exploration of oil in our country, most of them are done by foreign entities, and these foreign entities normally import these oil. So it's not like we really have maybe a national exploration. Maybe let's say upstream that goes into and sell to Tema Oil Refinery. Even what Tema Oil Refinery refines, most of them are imported. Do you get to? So you see, like if you take Tullow Oil, Aker Energy, they have done deals with foreign countries. Before you go into this production, you have already done your deal. So once you produce, you are selling to them. So the fact that maybe Tema Oil Refinery is working doesn't mean that they will have upper hand in buying the raw materials from the existing companies. So you end up, if you want to even increase production.
No, you have to explain that.
No, I'm trying to say, you see, most of our oil fields are owned by international organizations, like Tullow Oil, Aker Energy, and most of these international organizations already have partners outside they sell to. Because you see, before they even came for the exploration, they have already secured funding from some of these global investors, and they have signed contracts where they will be supplying their raw materials to. So you are, even if you are a local, company into refinery, they are likely not to sell it to you. Do you get it? So that's why I'm saying even Tema Oil Refinery, most of the raw materials they are refining, they actually import. Do you get it? Because so except maybe we decide to as a country, I think that's what President Mahama is envisioning, to have a petroleum hub where we will have local companies now going into exploration, so that Tema Oil can now buy from them. And because they will be sponsored by government, it will be easy for Tema Oil Refinery to buy from them. And that is where we will not really see that serious impact, this global shocks, serious impact on the economy. You get? But as far as now, we import about 90% of our oil, fuel, whether petrol or diesel, we import them. Do you get it? So if we are having global shocks and you are not doing local production, you still need dollars to buy in large volumes. And now you see, once let's say the price doubles, it means that you need double of what you used to buy, and that is going to put a lot of pressure even on your currency. So at first you needed $10 to buy the oil. Now you need about, because of the price hike, you need about $20. So meaning like everything you needed to buy oil has now doubled, and that is going to have serious impact even on your currency, for example. Okay, so that's why I said, except maybe we look into maybe supporting local companies to go into exploration. Exploration comes with huge costs. Exploration, because sometimes you can do it and then there's nothing there. You can. Yes, you can. And so the risk is high. So the point is the country ready to invest such big amounts? Some of these global energy companies like Tullow, they have done a lot of investment. So even if this one doesn't go well, there's another one that will move on. But if as a country we want to spend a lot of money going into exploration, it needs a leader who is willing to take the risks, and the country willing to back that leader. If that can be done, then I'm sure maybe if we start the petroleum hub and we now do our exploration, Tema Oil Refinery now buying this oil, we will have, these global problems will not be a serious challenge to us. But currently, it's a big problem as far as what is happening is concerned.
So that means that oil production as a nation doesn't shield us from global...
No, not at all. Not at all. Because the point is that you export all the things that we do here. We export about 95% of it. Do you get it? Okay. So the crude raw material form, we export it. And then so when we export to, those foreign countries, then we import the refined one. That's what I'm saying. That so we have Tema Oil Refinery, can they? But I'm saying that those companies already have contracts with, the foreign countries. So when they even get them, they have to. Instead that maybe you go with the good board approach, where maybe Tema Oil Refinery sign contracts with these companies. But these are international giants. They won't take it, because maybe they have done a lot of partnership with other global investors, so they may not even agree to that. Do you get it? So if we want to be shared from some of these global shocks, and let Tema Oil Refinery works for us, then we have to also go, as a government, we must also go into the upstream sector. And then maybe that's what I'm saying there. Maybe the idea of the petroleum hub that our president is very keen on. If we can make it work and now decide that we are going to own our oil fields. If we own our oil fields, we can sell everything to Tema Oil Refinery. So whatever happens at the international stage, we may not, worry so much about it.
But can we get to that point?
It will be difficult, because that's why I said it requires serious investment. Serious investment. You see, some of the countries that you have seen them, find their way of doing everything by themselves. Most often,
like Nigeria?
Nigeria largely depends. Now that this man, their Dangote is trying to, but they also even depend on such contract. Okay. Some of the countries were smart, especially, let me give Saudi Arabia as an example. What they did with their oil production is that, at first, the U.S. companies want to come and explore and do everything. Then they went on agreement with them that, okay, you don't worry. Just invest your money, but we will do it ourselves. So if you go to Saudi Arabia, the oil companies are not owned by U.S. companies. They have the local companies, but they have attracted the needed investment from U.S. Okay. And what they do is that, okay, to compensate you for that, we will sell everything in dollars. And that makes, and because they Saudi Arabia and all those countries are the leading producers of oil, it's like everybody now will need dollars to buy oil. So the US people also understood it, and they went by it, and it's benefiting the country. Right. From 1990 up to now, the Saudi Arabia currency has not moved. There is the most stabilized currency in the world. From the same rate 1990 up to 2026. There's the same rate
against the
dollar, and it's because of that agreement they went with the US. That everything we sell, we will sell in dollars. So it's like the dollar is keeping, so they have agreed on a rate. The rate doesn't change. So that it makes the predictability possible in terms of buying, importing from, Saudi Arabia. Do you get it? But for our economy, or for our country, what we did was that we just asked them to come. The companies, so the US companies are here. and they determine what to do with their production. We don't have a say in terms of like maybe sell this quantity to Tema Oil Refinery, to our local refineries. No, we don't have such agreement. Do you get it? And so as far as there's any global shock, and even though you are a producing country, you still have to, import the finished products from other countries, and that will have serious impact on the economy.
I see. All right. So, but how dependent are we on imported petroleum products?
About 95%. We largely, in fact, that's why I said even the Tamale refinery, they import most of the crude. So it's not like they even buy from here and then refine.
But has it changed over the years, or this is how
it has not? It has not changed. And the reason it has not changed is that even it got to a point Tamale refinery wasn't working, right? It's just government that has revived it, and we are seeing it now working a bit. Do you get it? So it has been like this. So anytime there's global shock, especially in terms of oil price, you realize that export price also increases significantly. Do you get it? To a point where you even got to 20 cedis per liter in the previous government. Okay, so, and the reason why we were even seeing declining oil price was because the world oil price was coming down. It even came down to $55 per barrel.
Okay.
Just last December. And that's why we were seeing that trend. So once it's also going up again, then clearly our destiny. The only good thing is that now our CD is stabilized, so the effect will not really be massive like the previous years, where if there's 10% increase, there's also about 20% increase in our local. We will not see that. But whatever happens to the crude oil price in terms of the percentage increase, we will see similar one here. Just that, as I said, once we are now, we are okay with the CD, we will not really see that serious or significant increase in fuel price.
I'm still trying to get the picture very well. Okay. So, what role do local refineries play in such a situation?
Yeah. So, if you have a very working local refineries, then what it means is that they will be able to refine a lot of these products, and so at the end of the day, you will not need a lot of, dollars to, import. You can depend on your local production. So once, that's why if, let's say, assuming that Tamale Refinery was able to buy a lot of their crudes from maybe local companies, and they're able to refine them and then sell to maybe the BDCs, and the BDCs sell to the OMCs, clearly we will not witness that significant increase in fuel price. Okay. Do you get it? So because they reduce, the issue of importing. Because you see, when some of these things are happening, import cost goes up, shipping cost goes up. Now there are a lot of supply disruptions. All these things increase. Insurance even also goes up. And all these things feeds into the pricing. Do you get it? So for example, so it's not even just about the crude oil price that is going to increase your import.
Right.
All other things needed for successful import will go up. Okay. From insurance, because now the countries are also scared. Those who are exporting their products, they can be attacked anytime. Do you get it? Because of what is happening. So insurance goes up, transportation goes up, and that will significantly increase the price as far as we buy them from these countries. But as we were having local refineries working, all these things will not have effect. So even though the crude will go up a bit, but you will not see that significant jump in price as far as the fuel price is concerned. Right. So for now, we are not going to be short, because we shouldn't assume that because we have Tamale refinery, we are not going to have significant impact. If the war continues and the price moves up more again, it's going to hit us big. And the fuel price can even get to 17 cedis per barrel, or it can even 70 cedis per liter. Can even go to 20, especially when maybe they are predicting that it can even reach $150 per barrel at the global stage. Yes.
I see. You're going to tell us exactly how it translates from there to the pump very soon. But let me just announce the phone lines in case anybody's listening to us and they want to join the conversation. Well, if you just tune in, this is Business Breakfast on Z101.9 FM with me, Nitrebi Hammond. And this morning we're talking about rising global oil prices and what that means for inflation and also our economy as a country. My guest is John Kyei. He's a financial analyst, very knowledgeable in this dynamics and this conversations, and he's helping us make sense of exactly what is happening. But you're free to join the conversation. Feel free to send me a WhatsApp on 0544321019, 0544321019. I'll read your messages for you. You can also call me on 030-3956-641, 030-3956-641, and then I give you the opportunity to ask your questions or make contributions to the conversation we're having this morning. We're streaming live on Facebook at ZFMGH and on YouTube at Z Multimedia. Please drop a comment there and I'll read them for you as well. All right, thank you very much. John, let's continue the conversation. So tell me, when global oil prices rise, how long or how quickly does it translate into higher fuel prices at the pump here in Ghana?
Okay, so you see in Ghana, we operate something called pricing window, which is, every 2 weeks.
Okay.
Because the issue is that, when you import, like from the time you import, for the product to come to sell to AMCs, it's likely to take about 2 weeks for that process to be done. So what it means is that the current, supply that we are getting, we have already, the OMs, the BDCs have already transacted. So they got it at that low price during those times for this window. So we are not really going to see any significant increase in fuel price for this window. But our next window is from 16th, which is next week. Now, by the 16th, it means that the BDCs are now transacting, right? Trying to get the products. And as far as, prices increase, and they are going to get a very high cost. And once they get it at a high cost, then they will also charge the OMCs in terms of, the product cost. I think the product even went to about 6.5. So if you take, let's say, petrol, it came to even, maybe the BDCs were selling to AMCs around 6.5 cedis per liter. In terms of Argo, which is diesel, they were selling to them for 7.5. So if you add the taxes and everything, that's why it was hovering around 10 cedis and the rest, the 10, 11, 12. So now that, what is happening, which means that those prices can even increase by, if, things doesn't come down, it's going to increase by, let's say, 50%, because the price was around $71 per barrel. It went to, let's say, 110. That is about, 80% increment, which means that whatever they were buying these, refined products at is going to go up. Not just, so that's just the crude oil impact. What about shipping? What about transportation? Because fuel price will increase all these things. So we are going to see, if things don't come down a bit for the next pricing window, which will start from the 16th, they are going to adjust the price. But that price is not really going to be significant because it's still within, the 2 weeks effect. The thing happened just this week from Friday. For the next 2 weeks, it's about maybe 22nd. So from the 16th, you are not going to really see a serious or maybe a significant change in the price. Do you get it? But maybe from the...
But it didn't happen this Friday. It was the previous one.
I think the big increase started from last Friday. I think for last week, it was around $91. And then just when the market opened on Monday, it went to about 110. But it's coming down again. So sometimes the effects will just cross. But so what I'm trying to say is that for the next pricing window, we are going to see a significant increase in, the S-pump price. Because now the BDC
is significant.
Significant. Can even go to about maybe 16 to 17 cities. But you see, there are a lot of things we can do as a country to maybe reduce the impact. The first one that maybe we can do is that, when government introduced the energy levy and they realized fuel price was going up, they decided to, hold on to the energy, the 1 CD they were taking. And then when things calm down, then they brought it back. So if price is likely to move to that level, maybe we can suspend it a bit, that 1 CD a bit. Then apart from that, maybe the Bank of Ghana can also decide that, okay, let's sell maybe CDs to BDCs at a very low rate. maybe using the good board inflows that we are getting. Are you getting it? So instead of selling to BDCs at the market rate, you can go down a bit. I mean, you are sacrificing to still maintain stability. Because if you don't do that and we allow the price to go up from, let's say, 11 cedis to 17, which is about 50%, what it means is that most products will also increase their prices, and you are going to see serious jump in inflation.
That's as possible in just, I mean, with just one pricing window?
Yes, just next week, which is just next week. 16th is just next week.
Yes.
Next week. Do you get?
And we're likely going to see
price moving from that 11 to about 16 cities. 16
that's
cities.
Huge.
Yeah, that's huge. Which is, let's say, maybe 45 to 50%. When that happens, then it means that all the successes we have enjoyed under inflation, which we have seen about 14 months decline.
So, because, I mean, we've seen 14 months.
14 months decline. Everything, we will see inflation now moving from 3% to, let's say, 20%. That would be serious hit. So for this process, I mean, government needs to take serious, participation to ensure that they cushion us. That's why I was saying that the first thing, we can suspend the energy levy. We have accumulated enough. I think now we don't really have serious challenge in the energy sector, unlike when the government came. So we can suspend a bit, because the war will not continue forever. Things will calm down, and then we bring back. And the people will know that, yes, you care. Then apart from that, the Bank of Ghana can also help with the selling of foreign currencies to the BDCs at a lower rate, so that they reported serious profits in 2025. I don't know if you have seen their financials. When the financials came, they increased their profit by about 50%. So that increased profit we enjoyed, you can use it to cushion the citizens, right? And sell to the BD. I don't think the BDCs, demand a lot in terms of exchange, foreign currencies to buy their product. So you can sacrifice those profits a bit to show up and then sell CD to them at a lower rate. So you can even sell to 6 CDs, 7 CDs. When that happens, then you will see a very marginal increase in oil price, and that will, when it happens, we all clap for the government. That means that, yes, the government cares so much about us. Okay, so basically that is what is going to happen. So I'm sure the policymakers, government, ministers, and the president, the cabinet, they are thinking about how they will question us, and I'm sure it's something they'll consider.
Right. Let me ask this one. So if today the war ends and there's nothing going to happen, like, no missiles flying here and there, does it mean that the 17 cities you're talking about, or up to 16 cities, 17 cities,
when it happens,
will still happen in the next price?
When it happens, if the war stops right now, it's not the oil price will drop significantly. And sometimes, even though they are already negotiating, and the price now around $82, so it's not really going to be. But assume you see the price rose to 110. So if it was still around that point, then the next pricing window, it will happen. But as far as the price is coming down and there are a lot of new negotiations, sometimes they look at the average, and then the OBDCs realize that, even though we bought maybe this at this particular price, we have also bought some at a bit lower price. So let's find average of it. So that at the end of the day, the effect on the export price will reduce. So even though, let's even assume that they have bought it for maybe at a very high price because of what is happening. Once the price comes down, like if the war ends now and the price comes down, they look at the average, they will average the pricing, and that will lead to maybe just mild increase in the price. So I'm not sure if that happens, we will see that 16 CDs that others have predicted.
Okay, I see. Now, somebody says that it won't happen now, and that is what I'm wondering. I think it's Senior Husi or so.
Yes.
I'm not too sure if you've seen that particular story.
Yes.
I'm looking for it, but I can't.
From Comac, I think. Yes, I think. He mentioned.
Yes, I've forgotten, but okay, you don't worry. Let's just still move on with what we're talking about. Maybe when I find it, we'll talk about. Okay, yes, I've seen it. So it says that Ghana not at immediate risk of fuel. Okay, so that's for fuel shortage and not the pricing. All right, and that's fine. We can let that slide. All right, so so we are seeing that there's a looming maybe effect of this on us, isn't it?
Yes.
How does that impact transport fares and other sectors of the economy.
Okay, so you see, as far as the export price increases, it affects everything. Everything, because see, everything in the economy depends on transportation. So when export price rises, transporters will also increase their price, whether shipping, all kinds of products. Okay, we'll see significant increase in their transportation, and that will feed into the product costs. Do you get it? So once the export price increases, let's say by 40%, 50%, the next pricing window, we must expect everything in the economy to also go up, whether food, whether transport, whether even hotel, because everything is run on fuel. Everything. I don't think even the farmers that brings their products from the farm, they will also use transportation. Once you increase that cost, when they also bring it, they will increase the cost. So if fuel price is everything.
The shocking thing in all of this, we've been struggling to put the economy back on track.
Yes.
For some time now. Yes. I mean, over a year since the current president took over.
Yes.
And we've seen some progress. Yes. Month on month. We've been celebrating. Inflation has dropped. We're doing about 23 or 27 thereabouts.
It's now 3.33%.
And people are even saying that it's going to go down further.
Exactly.
We've seen monetary policy
rates also coming down.
Come down.
Hoping that if interest rates will now get to single digits.
Yes.
For all of us we enjoy.
Then all of a sudden, some it's not Russian. US, Israel, Iran war is going to reverse all these trends. Gains. And it's not gradual, it's at once. And that is what is shocking for me.
So you see, someone would say, you can't really, control world events. Because you see, there are largest economies that determines the direction of the world. And that is why, as let's say, a small country, Ghana, if you look at the global stage, we are a very small country. You must, always plan some of these things. I don't think maybe we all believe that the world will be calm throughout, especially the threat started way back in November.
Yeah.
If you look at what is happening now, it didn't start now. There was even 12-day war, and then it stopped. And then the threat started again. So, these global leaders, they decide whatever they want to do. So you must, find a way, see how the world events are unfolding and find a way to cushion yourself. There are some countries that all these events will happen, they will not have any impact. They will still live their normal life, all because they have predicted it, they have planned for it, and they know how to cushion the citizens. Even at the expense of the state, they will do it. Are you getting it? And so these things, you don't have control over it. Donald Trump can decide today that I want to go to Cuba again. I want to go. You can't control him. In fact, his people can't even control him. Do you get it? So you have to, once you are enjoying all these gains, someone will say maybe during those times could have been maybe planning that's, even though everything is moving well, anything can happen. When it happens, what should I do?
Right.
So maybe when things were smooth, maybe that's why we imposed the energy levy tax when things were smooth.
Yeah.
And when it even happened, we didn't feel it because the price was up already, came down, went up small. So the net effect was even a decline. So we were even happy. Now, something like this is happening. You must take that off. Do you get it?
Right.
You must. So when these crises are, and the good thing is that these crises will not last forever. Especially when we know that the U.S. president now is more focused on the economy, and he will not allow anything that affects the economy to go long term. When the war between Iran and Israel started, the previous one before this one, and he realized that if the war continues, it will affect his economy. What did he do? He just intentionally went to bomb some places and told the Israelites that everything is now clear, so stop the war, and that was it. Now you see his conversation now. So clearly we are seeing it's not going to be long term. He will not allow it.
All right.
Because for him, economy is everything to him. So as far as we know this is going to be a temporary thing, then we must make the necessary sacrifice to protect our citizens. That's why, one of them is to even Bank of Ghana to come in to sell, dollars to the BDCs at a lower rate. Yeah. All these things will question us and maybe will not really affect inflation the way we are envisioning. Yes.
I see. Right. So I think we're speaking about inflation as well and the cost of living. We've spoken about the impact on food and all of that, transport and some other things. Well, maybe just for maybe the ordinary Ghanaian household, what does the rising oil prices mean in practical terms? Briefly, then we can move on.
Yes. So as far as households are concerned, they must understand that the current world events will have significant impact on fuel price if it's not stopped now. And therefore, I mean, we must start thinking about expenditure. Do you get it? I know we don't earn much, but we must start, prioritizing certain expenditure over others, especially during this time. It's not going to be there forever. There will be an end to it. Even COVID came, there was an end to it. But the immediate term, we must prepare our minds that we are going to see some level of increase in prices of products. When it happens that way, we should appreciate, what is happening. You shouldn't, that's why I said, in terms of our household expenditure, we have to find a way to, reduce some of them that are not necessary for now.
Right.
That's why it tends to stabilize. It's not going to be there forever. It tends to stabilize. I don't think this one will go on for even 2 months. It will stabilize. No matter what, there will be an end to it. But now let's all prepare our minds that we are going to see increments in prices of goods and services. So there's a lot of our expenditures we need to prioritize in order to survive in this current mode. And when we are over it, we'll go by our normal lifestyle again.
Right. But shouldn't government tell us something?
Yes, I think the government too is a bit. I'm very sure that the government is very worried, especially when he has enjoyed good economy for about 14 months. Everything is trending in a very good way. And they has made a lot of comments in the past that global issues shouldn't affect us so much. So they are very, very worried. And personally, I know they will do something about it. I don't think they will allow fuel price to move to 16 to 70. They will not. They will not. Exactly. They will not. And I'm sure the finance minister and his people are thinking through, looking at how maybe suspending the 1 cedi fuel levy for now, maybe negotiating with Bank of Ghana to sell to BDCs at a lower rate. All these things can cushion us a bit for now. And as far as we are all predicting it's not going to be long term, it will be over and we'll come back to our normal life.
Right. Yes. Okay, we hope so. Anyway, 15 minutes to the top of the hour. This is a business breakfast on Z101.9 FM with me, Trebi Hammond. And this one, we're talking about the rising global oil price and what that means for Ghana's inflation and the economy. And my guest is John Kyei. John Kyei is a financial analyst, and he's been helping us make sense of exactly what is happening. And we've spoken about quite a number of things so far, but you're still free to join the conversation. If you want to join us, you can send us a WhatsApp on 0544321019, 0544321019, or you can also call us on 030395661, 030395661, and then we give you the opportunity to be a part of this conversation. We're streaming live on Facebook at ZFMGH and also on YouTube at Z Multimedia. Please drop a comment there and I'll read them for you. Okay, John, let's continue. Now let's talk about the pressure on the cedi. Now I know that once the prices, the oil prices are going up, that will mean a larger import bill.
Yes.
What kind of pressure could that place on our foreign exchange reserves?
Oh, yes. So I think I mentioned earlier that as well fuel price is rising, what it means is that, assume it even increases by 50%. What it means that what you are using, any reserves you are using now to buy fuel will also increase by 50%. That means that your reserves is going to decline by 50%. So if you don't have other alternatives to show up again. The good thing is that, you see, what is also happening now, we have sold a lot of our gold reserves.
Yeah.
At first we were talking about 37, it's now 18. We are now trying, it has come to about 18. So we have sold a lot of these reserves, thinking that, we are okay, things are still going to stabilize. I'm not sure we even predicted something like this to happen. So now our reserves too has gone down a bit. Even though someone will say, okay, it has gone down, but in terms of maybe dollars, because some of the, they sold some of the gold to get these reserves, and that's why we also see our international reserves goes up. But the point is that as far as, we are going to see increase in the import bill for fuel, whether it's 50%, 30%, that means it's going to also require you to, spend about 40% or 30% of your international reserves to get the needed fuel for our consumption. And clearly that is going to put a lot of pressure on the city. And sometimes when some of these things happen, there are a lot of speculations. So the speculation effects that for some time you have been able to calm it down, it's now going to, come again, where people feel like price will keep going up. So some of them may even want to now buy dollars and keep, because they don't know what will happen. All these things is going to drive your exchange rate. That is why what is currently, happening currently is a serious issue. Because once it's going to have effect on exchange rate, it's going to have effect on fuel price. That is going to push your inflation numbers to a very high level. And all the benefits you have enjoyed, will go down the drain now. So it's a serious matter.
So do you foresee a fresh round of CD instability?
Yes. So I think even though we have enough reserves, but you see those reserves were also, in terms of our import cover, whether it's 3 months, 5 months, we carry based on current fuel price, right? When it was, let's say, around maybe $67 per barrel, now it's going to go up to let's say even 80. It has increased your import bill, and that will reduce your import cover. And once people start witnessing decline in your international reserves, especially in the months it covers your import, there's going to be a worry. They will feel like, and now that even at first people had confidence in the good you have accumulated, we have also seen that you have sold the good. So all these things are going to put a lot of pressure on your city. And if maybe they don't calm everything down and control it very well, you will see the city, rising sharply again. Can rise up sharply again if we don't find a way to control the speculation effect. Yes. So personally, I feel, you see, for now, for the immediate term, things will still stabilize. I'm not going. I think for now, from maybe today to the end of March, we are not really going to see significant movement in the city. But because there's also prediction that the war will end soon. But if the war escalates and continues, then from April it can move to 14 to 15 cities. Yes, which is going to be very significant. So I think we should just hope and pray that the thing doesn't escalate. Because see, when Trump mentioned that everything is complete, look at how fuel price fell, about 20%, which means that if the markets also see a signal that, no, maybe the new person is even highliner. The new person they have, selected as the supreme leader, is a highliner, is willing to combat US. And then the man starts again that, then the fuel is even going to rise beyond the $110 it happened when the market opened. So let's hope so that we can continue to enjoy our current good economic conditions. So I'm praying that things will desescalate.
All right. So what other external factors could amplify this particular pressure on our city?
Yes. So you see, the issue is that when a global war like this starts, you realize that many countries will now tend to join. And when some of these things are happening, every country wants to protect its local economy. So sometimes there's a lot of restriction on supply components that you will need to increase your economic activities. So you see UK, how France, especially those developed countries, they tend to now focus on their local companies, how they can protect them. So when some of these things happen, it's going to affect supply chain issues, and even supply chain financing, and a lot of IMF will now redirect its efforts to other things. So even the support they are providing, World Bank, they will redirect it, especially to places that are largely impacted by the war. And all these things will even affect our remittances, our international flows, and so some countries have agreed on debt exchange programs, reliefs. All of them will now demand, because they are all feeling the pressure, and once they feel pressure, there are a lot of pressures that will come for us to settle our debt, a whole lot of situations.
Right.
So things like this has significant impact on the whole economy if it continues, and it can affect everything that we are doing, especially when we largely depends on foreign machines and foreign, inputs to do our stuff. We don't produce a lot of things by ourselves. So it's a serious issue. It's not a joke. And I think we should continue to pray that, there will be a change of heart by these leaders, so that, as our economy is recovering, it doesn't come under serious pressure again. Because all these things that is happening is going to bring serious pressure again on the assuming you are recovering from a sickness and there's a serious another virus attacking, and then all the efforts you have made to fight against the previous one, it's like you are dying. I know there are some opposition members that are happy.
They are excited.
They are I sometimes ask, I didn't know happy the direction of the economy. And it looks like they are celebrating it and predicting that, because what is happening for but they are in this country. Whatever happens, it affects all of us. So I don't think the opposition we all should come together to find a way to make our economy work. You see, when the economy works, it helps the next leader. Because it shouldn't always be about every that comes and it's about stabilization. There should be a point where some leaders come and it's about growth. It's not about stabilization again. So all those opposition figures praying that things will become worse so that they can do comparison, they should have a change of heart. And let's support our current government to do the right thing.
Okay. So what apart from the 1 CD energy levy that you said can be taken off for some time,
and I also mentioned that BOG can, decide to engage the BDCs and agree on a favorable rate that will lessen the impact of what is happening on our fuel price.
How about monetary policy?
Yes. So you see, the monetary policy what they can do. Me personally, I believe that the next round of discussion, if not what is happening currently, which is going to be a pressure on the which is going to be a pressure maybe on inflation and the rest. I was really hoping that they will reduce the policy rate to a single number. Even not single, about 10%. But they are also scared. The BOG is more interested in inflationary pressures. So once they know that there's going to be inflationary pressures, they are likely to increase the policy rate again. Do you get it? So they can't do much. You see, if they also reduce the rate, someone says, okay, why don't they consider reducing the rate? If they reduce the rate, inflation will be worse. So normally when there are a lot of inflationary pressure, they tend to increase the rate. And increasing the rate also leads to higher lending rate. Even to the BDCs and the OMCs who will be also going for credit. So then the thing even magnifies. So we are under a very, dire situation. Where that's why I said, there should be a compromise somewhere. The state should be willing to take part of the cost in terms of, sacrificing their one of their fiscal policies, and also maybe the monetary policy side in terms of surplus exchange rate. They can decide to reduce the rate for the BDCs. If they do that, assuming they reduce, now the CD is being sold around 10.5. Let's say they reduce it to 7. It's like every increase in fuel price is what is going to the exchange rate. So we will still have a stabilized pump price. Which will still go around, let's say 11, 12, 13. So we will not really see that massive increment. But you see, the problem will also be how sustainable they can do that, especially when they're also going to have a lot of pressures in terms of international reserves accumulation and all that. So in the long run, it will affect them badly. Do you get it? So that's what I'm saying. Whatever thing we want to do, except the war, can end suddenly or in a very short period. If it continues, it will be difficult for that intervention to continue. Yes. But that will come with huge cost implication on the books of Bank of Ghana.
Right. Yeah. Okay, maybe from a business perspective, which sectors would be most affected, or which sectors should be worried about what is happening currently?
I think all sectors. You see, the reason why all sectors must be worried is that I don't know a particular sector that they don't use fuel. I think you can think through it, because it looks like the whole sector is supported by transportation. Hotel, do you use genset, they use electricity. Electricity also use fuel. Do you get it? So, because especially when you have a lot of plants and you buy fuel and all that. So even here, I mean, if you take Z Multimedia, for example, your cost, you realize that even your electricity cost will also go up.
That's true.
And a whole lot. So, and that's going to affect the entire cost of your activities. Do you get it? So, as for fuel price, when something like this happen, every sector suffers.
Okay, maybe finally, what strategies can businesses adopt now so that they can manage the rising costs?
Okay, so you see, sometimes there are macroeconomic events that as a business you don't have control over. Do you get it? Especially, so you see, when it comes to the macroeconomic level, level, there's little you can do. Because the point is that, except maybe you already have some risk management strategy in place and you have predicted this thing happening. So you have already signed contracts and you have already fixed certain prices and the rest. So when even fuel price goes up, you are still okay because everything has been done. But if you are not coming to do anything now, at the macro level, it will be difficult to achieve that objective.
Right.
Do you get it? So maybe that's why I said here we need the government to support us, especially when it comes to businesses. Government must actively support to still keep fuel price at a price that is convenient for everybody, so that business can continue to thrive in this current environment.
All right, I think all the solutions we've given, especially for the ones towards government, are short-term things to do. What can we do in the long term to actually shield ourselves from issues like this?
I think the major thing we need to do is that we are always seeing global shocks happening to crude oil price. So what we need to do is that in terms of local exploration, I'm sure government should consider local exploration. I think we should stop depending on foreign entities for our oil production. Are you getting it? We must, and I'm hoping that the petroleum hub that we are trying to bring it in full force will be able to achieve that objective. And then also support the temporal refinery to even expand more. If we're able to do the two, where maybe we produce most of the oil ourselves and also strengthen temporal refinery, I'm sure some of these things will not have serious impact.
John, thank you very much for your time. Really grateful for your insights as well. Yes, it's been a great conversation. So thank you.
Thank you too. I appreciate it.
All right. Okay. So that was John Kyei. He's a financial analyst, and he joined me this morning talking about the Middle East tensions and how they affect our currency, how they affect our inflation, and also the economy and everyday life generally. And it's been a very great conversation. If you missed any parts, please visit our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, X, ZFMGH, and on YouTube and TikTok at Z Multimedia. Well, so that will be all for Business Breakfast on Z101.9 FM with me, Nietzsche Rebi Hammond. We're back again tomorrow for more interesting conversations. Until then, please keep listening to Z101.9 FM. Up next is the Brighter Side.